All right, let's talk consulting. Aperient Consulting is my consulting company. What is consulting? Nobody can say in precision. I'm gonna tell you, consulting is telling you what to do, even if it's not obvious to you that you should be doing that thing. Okay? If it's obvious to you that you should be doing something and then I kick your ass to do it, that's coaching. Coaching is getting you to do the things you already know how to do and reminding you some truths that you find sensible, okay? So if your goal is to lose weight and be a good runner, a coach will help you run and optimize running in ways that you could also read from a book, but the coach is there to keep you accountable and give you tempo. And you don't need the consultant for that. But if your goal is to grow your business and you're selling crickets and the consultant tells you, you know what? I spent enough time talking with you and seeing your business and I think you should pivot to bumblebees. You're like, what the hell? Why bumblebees? I never considered that. I don't even... No, listen to me. You know enough and you have the infrastructure that can be adapted very easily to bumblebees and it will put you to a competitive advantage much more than if you stick with the crickets. And then you may or may not listen to and follow my advisory consulting. It's a much higher level, higher stake term. It does have elements of coaching which I really want to make clear that they're separate, because a huge pet peeve of mine is people going to therapy and people hiring consultants in their companies before they have established a clear and functional coaching regime, which is so much easier and so much cheaper. And without it, seeing a therapist or seeing a consultant is a non-starter. Hire a coach. Give your cousin $20 a week and an instruction of how to keep you accountable, and they will probably do it okay. And if they fail, you just find another one and just pay $100 instead of $20 a week. Your life will get so much better, so much faster just by doing the things that you already know you should be doing, and you don't need the expertise and the education of a good therapist or a good consultant to help you go to a much better place than you are right now. So actually, I'm not sure that I have the expertise to start a consulting company in any field except biomedical research and maybe psychology and therapy. But I'm not going to touch the second one because I have no formal credentials and certification about it. But thankfully, biomed is a big sector. I'm educated enough, intelligent enough to show perspectives that most people have never encountered before, which I keep doing casually in my daily conversations. And they're like, oh, really? I didn't know this existed. And yes, it did exist and it's going to solve your problem exactly. So that is consulting. That I can already do to some extent. And of course, the more I do it, the more I will be exposed not only to tools and techniques, but also case studies of my own customers and of other stories through the field. So that's a beautiful career in and of itself. But the only way to start consulting meaningfully for any field is to weed off the coaching aspect. So as a spin-off, as a prerequisite for any client that wants to do consulting with me, those clients have to have a proof of functional operating coaching. And guess what? In 99% of the cases, if you don't have good coaching and I convince you to get one and you get it running, you're not gonna need me anymore, or you will not find me as important because you will have solved most of your problems. And maybe if you start making actually a lot of money with coaching, you will say, you know what, this is good, but maybe it can get better. Let's hire Aperient Consulting. Their best advice was to get the coaching in the first place. Maybe they have some more insight. Yeah, but you will be hesitant to do that because that's gonna be expensive, because then I will actually have to look through your company and through your resources and assets and skills and give you advice that you may not want to listen to, that you may not understand, and then you have to trust me and pay me on the top. And weren't we fine with coaching? Maybe you were, okay? But either way, you're not allowed to hire me before you have good coaching established. And because coaching is so much cheaper and so much easier than consulting, the gateway to our services, to Aperient Consulting's services, is exclusively through a setup and running coaching regime. That's the only way. You cannot assess whether you need consulting or not if you don't have that set up. Now, that was my Aperient Consulting hat. Back to Antony's life. This is how the company works. this is the vision for Aperient Consulting. It's a little bit boring that I have to build the coaching system first. Plenty exist, but it's easier for me to build one from scratch than adjust existing ones. My cute name for the coaching module is Rock, Paper, Scissors Coaching, because the idea is that it's a coach where you pay your part by coaching someone else, but you don't want to coach your coach because it's a little bit awkward, especially if you want to be coached on similar things. It's weird to keep each other accountable on the same thing. So I'm going to form groups of 3 people, rock, paper, scissors, rock coaches, scissor, scissor coaches, paper, paper coaches, rock. And they are the ultimate authority in their coachee life. So if you're scissors and you get coached by rock, you are their little bitch, you are their little puppy, and you have to do what they force you to do, which you have discussed that these are the things that you want to do in the first place. But as long as that's established and it's not controversial, you beg them to force you to do the thing that you're too lazy or hesitant or scared to do. All those emails, all those push-ups. So that's relatively easy to set up. It's an one-off investment from my side, and it doesn't even take much money. It does take some of my time, but then if I have it set up and running, I can give it as an option to everybody and anybody, including the people that are tempted to ask for consulting. I'm gonna tell them, show me your coaching regime. If you don't have any, I have this one for you. It's called Rock, Paper, Scissors. You have to find another 2 people, keep each other accountable, have it running for this amount of weeks without anyone dropping out or softening. And if within a couple of months your coaching regime have taken you to a place that you don't even know how your life, how your business could be better, then you do need a consultant, and then it may make sense to work with me or some other consultant. And what is even more scandalous, and that is a spin-off realization, because I was not thinking about therapy, but then I realized, wait, what is true about hiring a consultant is exactly true about hiring a therapist as well. Most people may get much more benefit if they hire a fitness coach and a nutritionist before they hire a therapist. And I believe that every therapist worth their salt would have this as the very first assignment they give people before they even consider taking sessions with them. Come back to me, send me your investments, send me your subscriptions, send me the proof that you started with someone, then every week send me a short message that confirms that you have followed up with your coach, and I will just give you a thumbs up. I'm not even gonna talk to you, I'm just gonna give you a thumbs up. And from the moment you start this regime, you are not allowed to ask for therapy from me for 3 months. And then if in 3 months you still feel depressed or in need of therapy, come find me. I'm perfectly aware that this sounds naive, but it's not. Because the fact that it will not work in 100% of the cases does not negate the fact that it will work for many of the cases. And then you actually know that to solve a huge amount of your problems is much easier than you think. You don't need the experts. The experts are in books. Read the fucking books. You do need a coach. You always need a coach. So it's a completely misplaced fiction that you need an expert. It's not about information, it's about accountability. And when you actually do need information or the curation of information that you couldn't do yourself by reading the books or with a coach, then you hire a consultant, but then that's expensive because there is very few people who actually know your field that well, so to help you. And if your field is actually how you feel inside you and your personal struggles, then you hire a psychologist, a therapist, not a consultant. So that's the reason I'm starting a consulting company, and that's the reason that I have to give people an option for a coaching regime, and instead of looking for something that already exists, I trust myself more to make this model, which is free, money speaking, but it's very expensive accountability-wise because it forces you to learn how to lead, to learn how to guide, and at the same time puts you in that submissive, humble state of letting someone else use your own instructions to dictate your life and to push you in ways that feel uncomfortable during the push, but deep inside you, you feel grateful for. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel and follow my art as well as my business endeavors, as I will be documenting them either here or in their respective channels. That is, I Make Good Art and Aperient Consulting. See you next time.